Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today is National Ghost Hunting Day. That's quite a big day in America. That's quite a big day in America. It's not something that British people really celebrate, but 1 in 6 Brits do believe they live with a ghost. Well, I don't. I know that any noises during the night is my cat because he loves to wander around during the night. My apartment is his jungle, so he gets up during the night and he patrols the place. But National Ghost Hunting Day is a big deal for American people. And I think probably Halloween is a really major festival for all things related to ghosts. It's a much bigger festival. But today, many Americans and some British people too will be watching old houses. They'll be getting some people together to go on ghost walks, and they'll be using complex machinery to try to determine once and for all that ghosts do exist. I'm not surprised 1 in 6 people claim that ghosts exist. I mean, we have so many TV shows that kind of glamorize ghosts. Do you remember The Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt? She was the lady who saw ghosts and claimed that ghosts were part of everyday life. It was just a drama, it was just a drama. And then there was Charmed, the three sisters who were fighting ghosts and demons. We had loads of movies when I was growing up about ghosts. There was Poltergeist, Ghostbusters was a funny one. But yeah, people now are very open to this idea. I know in the old days, people believed in ghosts. My grandmother, she believed in the banshee, and it was a kind of ghost which came to warn you if a family member was dying. It was supposedly an ancient member of your tribe. She was either a beautiful young lady or she could be a very ugly old lady. Of course, in my family, she was always the ugly old lady. I don't think there was any beautiful young ghosts came to visit my family. But anyway, she would come and cry at the window, and my grandmother would say, yes, that's the banshee. That's because someone's dying. Probably it was just a bird, or maybe it was the wind blowing. But you can imagine on a cold winter's night in either Ireland or Scotland, you can imagine that it could be mistaken for a ghost or some kind of activity of a ghost, I mean, without the internet and TV, people had little else to do in those days, I suppose. And they had such huge families, there was always somebody dying. So it didn't take a ghost to work out that somebody was about to drop dead. So, yeah, the banshee. They've made many movies about the banshee. And in Scottish and Irish culture, the banshee is one of the most prominent beliefs. I'm sure there are still people around who believe in the banshee. It comes from the Gaelic word banshee, which is spelled very differently. I'll put it in the transcript because it's too complicated to explain in Gaelic, which is one of the indigenous languages of Northern Europe, including Scotland and Ireland. So yes, the banshee was one of our major ghosts, but I don't know why 1 in 6 people would be believing in ghosts. A bit strange, I think that. But anyway, we're going to look at some idioms with the word ghost because we do have quite a few of those. And probably the main one is to give up the ghost. if something stops working, it's given up the ghost. Oh, which reminds me, I have one of those old analog radios. It gave up the ghost a few days ago. Just stopped working completely. Yeah, I don't know where to get that repaired. I'd love for it to work again, but um, yeah, it's just not functioning. So it's completely given up the ghost. That phrase "to give up the ghost" is biblical, so that's why we use it. But we use it in modern day. We use it in the modern day for everything. Oh, the dishwasher's given up the ghost. My telephone's given up the ghost. So that's one way in which we use it, to give up the ghost. Another idiom about ghosts is about the Marie Celeste. Now, I mentioned this a few days ago in another podcast. The Marie Celeste was a boat that was found deserted and empty, floating in the sea. I think it was in the Caribbean in the 20th century, or maybe it was the 19th century. And because there was nobody on it, there was no sign of a struggle, there was just nothing. And we often use that idiom, always like the Marie Celeste in here, meaning it's dead or empty. Yeah, so if you walk into an empty room, you can say, "Caw, it's like the Marie Celeste," because that ship, when it was found, there was nobody on it, so they called it a ghost ship. A ghost ship. What other idioms do we have? Yeah, a ghost from one's past. That's an unusual one. That's when something unpleasant from your past comes back and haunts you. You know, you might say, "Oh, I've just saw a ghost from my past," or "I've just remembered something from my past." And if you want to be kind of literal about it, you can say, "Oh, it was a ghost from my past." Yeah, we say that a lot. And another thing, of course, is when you go to work and someone says, "What's wrong with you? You look like you've seen a ghost." And you say, yeah, it's just I had some bad news. Sorry." So if someone looks like they've seen a ghost, usually they look disturbed and very pale, completely white. Oh, you've given up, well, not given up the ghost, that's another one. "Oh, you look like you've seen a ghost." Yes, I have. There we are. So those are a few ghost idioms. Probably my favorite is when someone's trying to apply for that new job and I say, "You don't have a ghost chance of getting it." That's something quite common. To have a ghost of a chance is the correct way to say that. You don't have a ghost of a chance of getting that. Or you could say, as I did, a ghost's chance. But a ghost of a chance is the way it's usually said. You don't have a ghost of a chance winning the lottery, so why do it? Speaking of ghosts, have any of you seen that YouTube channel, Channeling Eric? That's a bit frightening, isn't it? So basically, the idea of channeling Eric is Eric's dead. Okay, so he was a young man who sadly passed away some years ago, but his mother runs this YouTube channel, and Eric gives interviews with mediums. Now, a medium is a woman or a man who supposedly can talk to dead people. So Eric talks to these mediums, and they pass on messages to the mother, and she broadcasts these messages. So that sounds quite scary, doesn't it? It sounds like a very dark kind of storyline, but that's not all, because Eric is having a really nice time wherever he is in the spirit world, And he often, talks about how he was at a party last night and how he's got a new girlfriend and he's just moved house. And he also interviews dead celebrities, and he, through this intermediary, brings us these interviews. So on this YouTube channel, there's the mother talking to the medium who's having a conversation with Eric. And Eric sounds like he's having a bit of a party in the spirit world. It's just like here. So, Eric will say things like, oh, I was out last night and I've just got back home. Sorry, I'm a bit tired today. And nobody thinks this is strange. Of course, we don't hear Eric's voice because Eric speaks to us through somebody else. The mother is actually a doctor, so you would think she would be more educated than doing things like this. But it's very strange. It's a multi-million-pound YouTube channel. I mean, they've made their money from it. That's for sure. It has millions of followers. It's very amusing. And in a post-religious Western world, it kind of makes perfect sense because it fills that gap of existential questioning that we all have. But it's the weirdest thing, especially since Eric has his friends and relationships. It just sounds odd. And the mother, she's very nice, but she's a little bit, I would say, strange with all of this, because for her, it seems perfectly normal. And I'm sitting there thinking, what? Really? And they've started putting on for entertainment only, presumably because some celebrities, the families of some celebrities, would be a little bit upset at what Eric says. For example, Eric did an interview with Madeleine McCann. That girl isn't even proven to be dead yet. And he also did one with, what was it, President Trump's higher nature or higher ability, something like that. So you can hear there that it's a little bit odd. But Eric as a ghost is having a really nice time. So the whole thing is just bizarre. Channeling Eric. Is Eric with a K, by the way. Channeling is the verb we use when we supposedly, in English, bring spirits from the dead. They are channeled. Okay, so these people called mediums, many of whom are probably fraudulent, I would guess. I mean, there might be some genuine ones. I'm sure they all mean very well. But yeah, I would question maybe their mental health, also their motives. I don't know. But anyway, they make a lot of cash. I'm sure some of them are in there for the business, because when you lose someone, of course, you'd really love to talk with them again. But yeah, Channeling Eric is one of the strangest websites I've seen in recent years. And of course, there's all kinds of merchandise to go along with it. There's the books, probably the baseball caps. I haven't checked, but Eric's having a fun time, whatever he is. So yeah, very interesting, Channeling Eric. Yes, that's it from me. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.